If you meant something else by restart, then I'm not sure what you're asking. Oh yeah, I have that, don't I? Let's get rid of that. Okay, I'm supposed to meet Mother down at the docks. Oh. Did it? Oh, no, I didn't stop the video. Mother, I'm coming. What was the chirp thing? That's usually like when you've succeeded a confrontation or something.
You manipulated us all. You're going to pay.
What is at stake here far outweighs our personal interests.
Our personal interests? You betrayed me.
Emily, no!
What an idiot. He still doesn't get it.
But, wait. How has Sarah betrayed you?
I don't believe it. You still don't get it. I'm not Emily, stupid.
You went as far as killing your own sister?
You're the one who pointed her out. You only have yourself to blame.
Oh, dear God!
Surprise, Sarah. You can't just get rid of me like that, you old hag.
Do you realize what you did?
Oh, poor Louis. He's upset about me getting rid of his little sweetheart.
Emma, you tricked your sister. She looked for you everywhere.
You're lying. She wasted her time hovering around you.
No, you're wrong, Emma. She was ready to kill me if it would have brought you back.
She was supposed to lay into you. She was supposed to get even for me.
Emily was right. She wouldn't have made me pay for someone else's mistakes.
Duchess, I am sorry about what happened.
You had a choice. You use people according to your desires without any scruples.
Excuse me, but we are in the same line of business.
Shut it!
And Emily knew it very well.
No, Emma, look at me.
She would never endanger herself for the sake of the Order. Her sense of duty gave way to her personal interest. In the end, Sir Gregory was the only one who was truly honest with me. He has opened my eyes more in 2 days than my sister did in a whole lifetime.
Sir Gregory? You've got to be joking, right? You're not really going to trust him, are you? Emma, take a moment to consider this, I beg you. I don't think you're fully aware of the situation. With all you've suffered under Emily's thumb, you really ought to flee Sir Gregory.
Gregory has always shown me that he cares about me.
He's using you. He feeds off your hatred of Mortimer, and me, and your sister. You mustn't let him do that.
No one will ever use me again. No, I refuse. It isn't fair.
There's been enough deaths.
No, it isn't fair. I haven't done all this for nothing. Home promised me I could be the only Duchess Hillsborough from now on.
Unless you decide to kill everyone on this island, you'll have to explain your actions once you get back. All this effort to become the only Duchess Hillsborough, ruined in an instant.
She betrayed me!
You will be tracked down, hunted like a criminal. In the end, there will have only been one Duchess Hillsborough.
I am Duchess Hillsborough! You will not die by my hand today, Sarah. She deserves to die. In fact, I think that honor goes to you.
Shoot Emma or let her go. Wait, the honor goes to me to kill Sarah, so I get the option to shoot Emma. Okay. Okay. I think we're gonna let her go.
Where is the Al-Azif?
Sir Gregory planned to get it off the island by boat. I wouldn't be surprised if he sends it with the next shipment for the continent, but I don't know when that is.
I really thought my next breath would be my last.
Well, anything's possible.
This is no time to be joking. Just help me climb aboard this boat, and let's get off of this cursed island.
No, I'm not going anywhere, and neither are you, until you've told me everything.
For crying out loud, what are you talking about?
I don't know if I use this. It's not a... Hey, Somni, welcome. So did you need to... where are you? Have you seen any of this yet tonight, or do I need to explain what we've done so far? Because something has happened, so I need to explain if you've not seen it. Since it's not a timer, I'm not going to make a choice yet. I want to kind of take a moment here. Okay. Now, you, though, had Emily, right? At the dock? And so I had Emma at the dock. Hey, Silhouette, welcome. Well, and that's the other thing, too. Silhouette may or may not know. So, do you need me to catch you up, Silhouette, with where we left off? I just want to make sure everybody watching is, like, knows where we are and where we're going and all that. So, I discovered that Emma is vulnerable to conviction. I guess I should write that down. So, whereas Emily was vulnerable to psychology and immune to logic, Emma is immune to manipulation but vulnerable to conviction. Welcome, Monmouth. No, everybody's just showing up a little bit late. It's not, you didn't have to wait, Faux Fox. It's fine. It's no big deal. So, as you guys know, I screwed up earlier, and Emily was killed by Emma. So, that's great. Oh, nice. What'd you have for breakfast? So, I killed, I didn't kill her. I screwed up, so Emma killed Emily instead of having... So, I did not have Emily at the docks. So if somebody else was played and had Emily at the dock, oh, English breakfast, nice. If somebody else had Emily at the dock, then I had the other sister. Anyway, so Emma was saying how Sarah betrayed her, and she was really angry about that. And she said she was going to trust Holm promised Emma she would be the only Duchess of Hillsborough. So, in other words, Emma partially, I don't know fully, but partially at least, Emma killed Emily because she wanted the power or position of being the Duchess of Hillsborough. Remember that Emily previously had said that because they were twins, they had kind of what do you call it? Complementary roles. So Emma was kind of the spy. I mean, Emily did spying too, but Emma was kind of she would be in places, getting information and acting as Emily, while officially Emily was somewhere else. Oh, was she? Okay. Yeah, aristocratic rules, that's right. So Emma was upset that Sarah had betrayed her, and Sarah was like, I mean, I didn't really have a choice. We had this plan, and we had to stick to the plan. Anyway, and so we used, we discovered, I didn't use Devil's Thorn to figure it out. I took a chance, but I knew from our encounter with Emma and Emily together, where one of them shot the other, I knew that she was immune, like Emily was, actually. No, wait. No, it was different, right? Yeah, it was different. I knew that she was immune to manipulation. That's what it was, yeah. And so I avoided manipulation. I didn't know on anything else. Anyway, so I managed to convince her that if she killed Sarah, she would have a lot of explaining to do once she got back on the continent. The Ricky Ricardo, Lucy, you got a lot of explaining to do. But we used that against Emma. And so Emma then was finally convinced. She's like, well, fine, but you won't die by my hand. But actually, Louis, you should do it. And so she handed the gun to me. And then I had the option of either letting Emma go or shooting Emma. I did not shoot Emma. I don't want to kill anybody if I can. I mean, except for maybe Mortimer, because he's like the demon master or whatever. But otherwise, I don't think I really want to kill anybody if I can help it. Anyway, so I let Emma go, and Emma walked away, and now I've been talking with Sarah, and so we're trying to find out. Our character said Sarah's not going anywhere until we get some answers. So that's what we're trying to do now. We've just started this kind of question answer session. Oh yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, if she had a different reason for it, she wasn't working with Sarah, so I imagine her reasons would be different anyway, right? She didn't know that Sarah shot Emma, or threatened to shoot Emma, or whatever the vision was. So it wouldn't have been a betrayal, because she wasn't working directly with Sarah anyway. So I would imagine Emily's reason would be different. I imagine it would be probably she would blame Sarah for Emma's death, right? Because she had earlier, when we were in the room behind the Medusa statues and stuff, right? Where there was the big gallery of artifacts, she was talking to Louis about it and saying she could, or maybe it was another different conversation, the one at night. Anyway, one of the two. She was saying that she blamed Sarah for Emma's death. I think she assumed Emma was dead anyway. We found out later she wasn't. But she blamed Sarah for Emma's death, and she would never forgive Sarah. She'd punish Sarah. She said that, so I imagine that's probably more in line of what the conversation went like with Emily. Yeah, okay. I mean, she said that specifically to Louis earlier, so I kind of gathered that was probably more likely. And I actually kind of assumed Emma's was going to end up being something about the betrayal. Neither of them have a reason to throw Sarah any love, right? I mean, Sarah's been kind of a jerk to both of them. To a lot of people, actually. I think Louis is about the only one she's not been a jerk to, honestly. And even that, it's kind of questionable because she's apparently hidden that we were a demon child. So I don't know if that was out of selfishness. We're going to hopefully find out. Do I really want to do more thought reading here? I refilled this when I exploited a vulnerability with Emma with conviction. I don't know if I can... Well, we know Sarah is immune to occultism, and that's it. So it's possible I could exploit a vulnerability and refill it. I don't know, though. I kind of don't want to...
Paris, 1763, number 12 on Rue des Martyrs.
No. I beg you, please trust me. He's manipulating you. We must leave.
Paris,
Can't you see he wants you? And he'll do anything to turn you against me.
number 12 on Rue des Martyrs.
He had to pay for what he did to me. I panicked. There she was with the baby due. I thought it was the right time to touch it,
To
but
touch it? By disemboweling her and stealing me from her?
The girl was already condemned to die. He never leaves any witnesses behind. She meant nothing to him. And I absolutely had to find a way of stopping him. I couldn't let him reproduce. I had to stop him propagating himself.
Did you lost your mind or what? How did you stop him by stealing a baby?
He was multiplying. I had to do something. It took me years to pick up his trail again, Louis. From the second I took you in, I couldn't bear to be apart from you. I looked after you, fed you, raised you, like a mother.
-1? Why is this... Oh, it's because the level of... Yeah, it's the level of the skill I have. I don't know if she's immune to manipulation. The fact that the skill is here does not necessarily mean you should use it too, right? Even if it's not an immunity or a vulnerability, it doesn't mean that, or even if it's not an immunity, I should say, doesn't mean you should use it. Now, if somebody's vulnerable to it, I think it does mean you should use that. But if you don't know, I don't know, just because the skill's there doesn't mean you ought to use it. I'm going to do this. I do get the feeling, despite everything else, despite how she's used Emily, or Emma, I guess, and she's manipulated other people, like at the council and stuff, I actually kind of feel like she's sincere in this case. Of all things she is, I do think she, even though she's not blood related, I do think she is a loving mother to Louis. I actually do. She's not a demon because we can read her mind, clearly. Actually, I think Mortimer told us that last time anyway. I do think she's a loving mother. Like I said, of everything else you could hold against her, I don't think being a bad mom is one you could. I do think she tried to do right by you. I think I'm not going to say she manipulated me. I think I'm going to say this. Unless this is used in a negative way, but I think this is fine. Yeah, she's in the order, so she is manipulative. But like I said, I don't know. There's something about it. The way she, except for the first like reunion we had, where she was freaking out and stuff, and so she didn't know she could trust us because she thought maybe we were like, you know, controlled by the demons or something, right? With our initial encounter, the confrontation we had when we first met her down below the garden. But except for that instant, every time we've talked with her has actually been where she said something like, I trust you, I'll leave it up to you, you've done well, all this kind of encouraging stuff. And it doesn't come across, I mean, I'm not a spy in real life, obviously, so I don't know. IRL, I'm like a computer guy, so I don't know, but it seems to me like she's not given signs that she's actually trying to manipulate us. Yeah. I am gonna say this one, I think. But I'm translating for the Russians. So clearly, I'm evil, that's right. I'm translating for a Russian citizen, not the government.
I know. You always took care of me.
I devoted my whole life to teaching you to distinguish between right and wrong, so you would have the choice. You are not like him.
But you never told me.
I wanted to. I very nearly told you everything, at least a dozen times.
You didn't, though, did you? Why?
I don't know, Louis.
Okay, so we decided she is immune to occultism. That's all we know. I don't know. The thing is with Devil's Thorn, we're at the end of episode, near, I don't know if this is the very end, but we're near the episode, or the end of episode 4. We have another full episode. I don't know how much more Devil's Thorn or any of these bottles of stuff I'm going to find. I trust you, Helen. Give the lands, kill your kind. Yeah. Well... Well, I hope so. It's been really good so far. I've really enjoyed the game. Let's just do it. She is not immune to either of these. She's also not vulnerable to either.
It was easier not to face up to it, not to stir it all up.
Don't judge me, Louis.
You were afraid of my reaction.
I wanted to tell you everything once you were old enough to understand. Forgive me. Louis, yes. I made mistakes in the past, but now I'm ready to...
Do you consider me a mistake?
No, not you. You are what I am most proud of in my whole life. You are good. You fight to do right. You are not like him.
Still, he is my father. Why did you steal me?
You don't want to know, believe me.
For once in your life, be honest. Why all this mess? Why do you have it in for him so much? Why?
Because I'm his daughter. I know what he's doing. I see he has his eye on you. He's hovering around you, tempting you. He did it to me before you. And if you don't live up to his expectations, he will cast you away.
Is that what happened to you?
I wasn't good enough for him. So he rejected me.
What do you mean?
He tried to initiate me, but it would seem I am unable to develop his talent. I can't withdraw my mind from my body.
I get it. The reason why you abducted me is because he didn't love you, isn't it?
He doesn't love anyone, Louis. Don't be taken in.
Drop dead. I never want to see her again. I don't think I'm going to choose either of those. I thought the fear choice was going to be being afraid of, like, Mortimer, not being afraid of me. Louis, I am your father. No, but that's impossible. You are not my father. My father died. My mother is Sarah Alicia. I think I'm just going to forgive her. Yeah, and that's a thing people have to understand too. I don't know. I've never been in the position where I was an accidental birth, okay? My parents, I mean, not the actual date or something, but my parents planned to have me as a kid, okay? So I can't say from that perspective. But if you take a step back and you think about it, je suis votre père. Yeah, no, that's fine. It was actually pretty close. It would be no H on O, just the letter O. So, oh mon Dieu, and then it would be est-tu mon père, or qu'est-ce que tu es mon père? So, qu'est-ce que is a beginning in French where they say, I'm about to ask a question. Basically, so, how to explain this really briefly? So, in French, a question, trying to think if it's just yes/no questions. Well, yeah. I mean, it is and it isn't. Anyway, so basically, the basic structure for a question in French is, if it's yes/no, you take the subject and the verb and you flip them. So instead of saying, well, we do that in English, right? We don't say, you are going to the store. I mean, we can. Actually, we could raise that, right? But it's not standard practice. Normally, we don't say, you're going to the store. Normally, we would say, are you going to the store? Now, we use the to be as a helper verb for the progressive form to form the question, but it'd be the same thing as if you said, go you to the store? Or, yeah. So they would just do et-tu, es hyphen tu. And they do the hyphen because they're showing that they're connected, but it's inverted. So est-tu mon père? Or, alternatively, in French, instead of flipping the subject and verb around, you can keep the subject form, or not the subject form, the statement form, but you use qu'est-ce in front of, or qu'est-ce que. Yeah, that's right. Yep. Literally, what is that what? What is that what? Which the approximate translation would be, kind of like, what is this you're telling me? Colon, you're going to the store, is kind of a rough, really rough, it's not literal, but really rough approximation of how qu'est-ce que would be translated if you were going to translate it. You wouldn't, but if you were going to look for what all those words mean together, it's kind of like a what is this you're about to tell me? Would be the rough equivalent, super rough. Anyway, so yeah, so it'd be es-tu mon père? Or qu'est-ce que tu es mon père? However you wanted to do that, right? And then the qu'est-ce que form, then you could replace the Q-U apostrophe, which is an abbreviation for Q-U-E, and then est que, okay? So it's que, est que, but in French because, anyway, they do use an apostrophe. So que is what. So instead of what, you can use like how. Quand. Q-U-A-N-D, quand is how. So quand, and then you pronounce the D because of the E on esca. So you say quand est que. So how were you going to the store? Things like that. So anyway. Jawohl. Das ist I don't remember how you say true. I mean, wahr is true, but I don't think you'd say it that way. Das ist... I don't remember. I'm really rusty on my German. I'm really rusty on French, too, by the way. Anyway, you are welcome. All right, let's get back to it. So, yeah, French is cool. French is cool, and it's also a pain in the ass. It just depends on what... They have so many forms of the verbs. Oh, my gosh. They have, like 15 or something. It's a dozen at least, I think. Das ist wahr? Okay. Das ist wahr. I wasn't sure. I know Dutch. In Dutch, they'd say das ist... you could say das ist wahr. Or you could say juist. Juist is kind of like correct. It'd be like, instead of saying that's true, just saying, somebody says something, you go, correct. It'd be kind of the equivalent. Anyway, I think I'm going to forgive her. Because she's a mom. Just like I forgave your French, Somni, I'm going to forgive her.
You are my mother. Whatever you've done, I can't take that away from you. It doesn't excuse everything, but in time we will find a way of putting it all behind us.
Oh, thank you, Louis. Thank you. I will never lie to you again. Come on. Let's
Yeah,
go.
right.
No, Mother.
I don't
I'm not
believe
going
you.
back with you. I can't.
What do you mean? Louis, you can't stay here. He
Don't
will...
worry about me. I have to stay. I still have a lot to learn. But you go.
Louis?
I'll see you in Paris. Don't worry. Here. This is yours.
Oh, and she grabs nothing, apparently? Okay.
Don't forget, Louis.
Sure then.
You've got the lance. You can beat him. If you hit him with it, he won't be able to escape from his mortal envelope, and he will die with it.
Okay, so yeah, two things with that scene. Well, I'll say in a sec. Let's see how I did. Did not find out about her lie. Oh, what lie? Did you find out about a lie, Somni? What lie? Well, maybe I don't know. If I do another playthrough, I guess maybe then I don't want or not. Yeah, I didn't discuss with Godoy either because I was worried there was potentially a confrontation and I didn't want to potentially fail that and then somehow in the process of failing that, fail being able to keep the lance or whatever. Oh, was that the extra mind reading? Oh, okay. Well, so I stopped Napoleon Bonaparte from getting the lance. I knocked him to the floor. I persuaded Jacques Peru not to shoot. I arrived at the wharf before Sarah de Richet was wounded. I stopped Lady Hillsborough from shooting Sarah de Richet. I let Sarah go. I found out about my demon nature, and I learned from Emma Hillsborough that Al-Azif was going to be sent to the continent. Okay. So I guess there we go. Two things on the end of that scene I was going to point out. So one, obviously graphically, she's sitting there and it says hand her Piaggi's letter and her bag. She's got literally nothing in her, well, she's missing her right hand, and then she's got literally nothing in her left hand. Wait, reverse, sorry. She's missing her left hand, she got literally nothing in her right hand, and she walks away, even though I just gave her her bag. Would she tuck her bag under her dress? They should have had her bag show up. That was a little flawed. That was a small mistake. But, and then also, I'm curious, because she gets out onto the ferry boat, and the boat starts to sail away. Who's ferrying the boat away? I didn't see any servants out here on the boat or on the dock. Who's ferrying her away? Because she's turned talking, not rowing, just talking to him, and the boat is... This isn't close to the sun where they automatically go on their own. So I don't know who's ferrying that across. Just curious. Anyway. Barely made it to level 14. Yeah, I guess. They should have graphically shown it, I think. It looks a little odd that way, but I guess it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. You just kind of assume, I guess, right? Okay. 8 points available. Okay, smell you later. Yeah. Yeah, well, finding Mother wasn't really, I mean, and you said you get why, so obviously, but finding Mother wasn't actually the goal, ultimately, right? Finding Mother was just the means of making sure she was okay. Right? We were worried. We hadn't heard from her. The whole reason we went to the island, besides that we got a summons from Mortimer, but otherwise, the whole reason we agreed to go to the island was because Sarah had gone there, and we hadn't heard from her. We're like, what the frick, is she okay? Right? So we went there to try to make sure she was okay. So I think that somewhat plays into everything also. That we probably should... Role-playing wise, it probably makes more sense to forgive her anyway, because we went there with the express, because we cared about her so much. We were so worried about her. A caring, worrying son, even hit with hard facts like that, is probably going to, maybe not immediately, so maybe instead of just saying, I forgive you, do the opposite one, the one where he said, despite all you did, your heart was in the right place, whatever, it'll take a while to forgive you, or whatever. But a son who really loves their parents and trusts them would forgive her. Now, that said, just because you love the parent doesn't mean you maintain trust. So I was going off of that he still trusted her. If you loved her, but you felt that she betrayed you and you don't trust her anymore, forgiveness is a lot harder to come by, right? Forgiveness is two parts. It's being willing to have a level of, love isn't exactly the right word, but have a level of maybe, we'll use love, okay? We'll say, for like, love is a scale, so there's hate also, right? So forgiveness is based on two things. Having a level of love where you don't want to see bad things come to that person, okay? Coupled with, or like you don't wish that person ill will, I guess it should be at a minimum. That's like the lowest level, I think, for you to be able to forgive somebody, is that you don't want bad things to happen to them, whatever else you may think about them. So forgiveness is that combined with a level of trust that allows you to move forward. So you have to care about them at least enough to not want bad stuff to happen to them, and you have to trust them. If you don't care about having bad stuff happen to them, it doesn't matter if you think that they'll be truthful from going forward. You might still harbor ill will toward them, right? Because you can't forgive them. Conversely, you may be able to not harbor ill will, but if you don't feel like you can trust them, you also don't forgive them. So I think, I mean, I haven't really thought about this in depth or anything, but I think forgiveness is at least, it might be more too, but it's at least those two components. And I feel like our level of care for her was such that we came to the eye to make sure she's okay. Our level of care would be enough that we would probably be able to forgive her, provided you feel you could still trust her, or you can trust her going forward. I chose the option where you can trust her going forward. But if you decide you can't trust her anymore, you may still love her, but you might not be able to forgive her, right? Anyway, and things like drop dead, I think, are just expressions of being frustrated or angry with her, right? So, yeah. I mean, I don't know enough about everything, all the machinations of Mortimer, right? With Act 5, with Episode 5, we haven't done that yet. So I don't know enough to probably be able to fully say yes with that. I do agree he's got a lot of chessboards on the board, and he's moving them as he wants. But I don't know, like, Sarah's going there in the first place. It's possible he's smart enough and everything that he set up a situation so she'd go there, so then we would follow. That's possible. I kind of have trouble buying the whole, this character planned all of this stuff out all in a row prior to acting, unless you've demonstrated to me that somebody is brilliant. Just because somebody lives a long time doesn't mean that they're brilliant. I don't know. I would say Mortimer, from what I've seen, I'd say Mortimer is very skilled. I don't know if I think he's brilliant yet or not. I think he's extraordinarily smart and extraordinarily dangerous, but I don't know if he's like genius level. So I'm not sure. Maybe we find out more though. What will I be able to equip? Not found the last page of Mortimer's stuff. So unless I find that, I won't be able to equip this. And then I only have one other book so far, which would be linguistics. So I guess just don't worry about improving linguistics, which is here anyway. Okay, so the occultism is now level 3. What is Mortimer immune to? I don't know anything for home. Mortimer's only immune to science, right? So maybe psychology and questioning would be good. I don't know, but I'm gonna guess probably conviction is a really strong one. He might be immune to that because I feel like he's he's been living for so long, he's probably really dedicated to his ultimate purpose of whatever it is. This is still level 1, huh? I don't know. Do I even know if anybody is vulnerable or immune to diversion? I don't think I know anybody that I've not identified that on anybody. I haven't really had to use it much, honestly, so far. Etiquette could be. I was considering some of these that are level 1 still, advancing them. Agility so far has, I think, really only proven useful for grabbing bottles that are high up on bookshelves. Otherwise, I haven't really noticed the use for agility, which is unfortunate because it says use your coordination against your surroundings and sometimes against people. So I don't know if that's going to be important or not, but it's level 2, so it's going to be at least 1 fewer points spent each time I need to use it. Not sure. I've kind of been leaning toward finishing out manipulation and erudition, and then I was looking at something up here. So maybe I will do etiquette. I know that's kind of a spoiler you gave it, but yeah. Okay, so I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I have 3, right? So I can increase politics up. I don't know how. I guess there's potentially the politics among the people. I don't know. Maybe I reset some of these. This one only costs 1 to get. Well, no, there's only 2. Yeah, I don't think so. I think I do want to do all 3 of these. So I guess for the last 3. Questioning and psychology. Up those, because these have been a couple of my stronger ones anyway. I think we'll do that for now, and then we'll see what else the future holds. Yeah, but I do think rounding it out is kind of like I wanted it, so. That's fine. I think having stuff, not trying to go for master of every skill, but trying to have stuff at least reasonably decent, I think is good, because I'm going against a lot of people who are very highly skilled in different areas. The last thing I want to do is not be good enough at something and have it completely screw me over, potentially. Like it sounds like etiquette did for you, but I'm not talking about just your situation. That's kind of been my thought throughout is, if this comes up, I don't want to get screwed over, though, so we'll do that. New blood achievements. I don't know what that means. I never know what these achievements mean before I do them. I can only equip 1. I'm missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a page. 6 possible plus a page. Hope I find those other ones. I guess we'll do that for now, and I can't equip that yet. Okay.
Rational and open. I spent my whole life swimming in lies.
Oh, everything's full now. Action points and all that.
Emily, what a waste. I feel like I know nothing. That I have to learn everything all over again. I'm a demon. I age more slowly. I can mentally manipulate people. I don't even know if it's a good thing or a curse.
Being able to manipulate people, I could see usefulness in that, but I feel like it's probably bad. You think it's good? I don't know. I also wonder if this moves you on a path toward embracing what Mortimer tells you versus moving you on a path that will resist him. I definitely am not okay with Mortimer being in control all the time and stuff. And if what Sarah said is true and he rejected her because he feels like she's not demon enough, I'm not okay with that either. You don't reject your child just because they don't turn out the way you want them. That's not cool. Honestly, some of the, like, let's just use like with a physical limitation, right? Some of the coolest people I've ever met have been paraplegic, quadriplegic, Down syndrome. I don't know what he has. I have an uncle who is retarded in some way. I don't know what way, but he's like, I think it's his, I can't remember which arm. I think it's his right arm, actually, I think, is like locked up, so he can't ever use it. It's always like in a claw. And one of his feet, I think it's the same side foot, so he kind of drags his foot a little bit as he walks. He's one of the cool. I mean, in some ways, mentally, he's more of like a child, so you have to be careful because he can act childish, just like children do. But he's one of the coolest people I know too. So I don't know. I'm not okay with that. With what Mortimer did to her, I've always had a problem with treating people that way. That's a good point. Yeah, we'll say it's good because it is. It does all depend on how you use it, right? It's like with anything. The internet is amazing for a lot of things, and it's terrible for a lot of things too. So yeah, we'll say it's good.
No, this is an advantage. I could get used to this pretty quickly, I think. Damn it, what a mess. Come on, man up, Louis. I'm still the same old me. Demon or not, I'm still in charge of my actions. And this father, I know nothing about. Yes, I've still got a lot to learn. It's enough to drive you crazy. Everything I believed in, nothing holds true anymore. Pull yourself together, man. I need to find some answers. There's no way of being alone for a minute.
You had a minute? What are you talking about? You were sitting there pondering like the greater questions of life for a while. What are you talking about, dude? I'll let them sit for a minute. I want to see if there's anything left to find in my room before I potentially move on.
Golden elixir.
Got an additional golden elixir. Okay. Don't really want to look at paintings right now. That just that? Okay.
Dear Monsieur de Richet, please excuse me.
Yeah, okay. That was a letter from Mortimer. Go and answer the door. Screw you, game. I do what I want in the game. Not what you want. I do what I want. Show you. Devil's Thorn. So I'm +1 on my potions or whatever now because I used a Devil's Thorn, but I've replaced that. And I did not use a golden... Oh, no, nope. I'm even. I used a golden elixir before I went down to the docks to cure my... whatever condition it was from last time that caused things to be +1 cost. Alright. So I've looked at everything out here, so I think this is my room. We're back now. Did I already look for everything? I looked over here on this wall and this. I don't know if I...
Inferno by Dante. Abandon hope, all ye who enter here.
Lovely lectures Mortimer's giving to his guests. Very jolly.
I go out there, he's like asleep, leaning against the door. Or, I guess she, if it's Emma. I don't know. The coins. Yeah. What? Were there coins I missed? Monmouth, or were you talking about just... I don't... There were these indicators. I don't remember seeing one for a coin, though. Did I miss one? Oh, in general. Okay. Just in case. Because I don't know if I'll be going back to this room anytime soon, if at all, in the game. So, all right, I think we're good. I think I've found everything up until now.
Sir Gregory?
Good day, Louis. I think it would be good to talk. How are you feeling?
I don't know.
I understand. I heard that William spoke to you at last about our nature and our family. It's a good thing, but you must be a bit shaken up.
That's the least you can say.
I bid you welcome among us, Louis. Knowing William, he probably didn't go into any detail about our family, so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.
He's a demon. Should I use the power on him? No. They get insulted, is what William said, if you use that on him. Especially without permission, but even still in general.
How long has our family been in existence?
We have been here since the very beginning.
Okay.
What do you mean, exactly?
Are you trying to get information from me?
No, not at all. I was just wondering why that particular question seemed to disturb you.
Let us not insist, then. You yourself weren't very convinced by the question, it seems.
Okay, well, he's immune to conviction. We now know that. That's unfortunate. Oh, but that just blocks total. Yeah, I won't worry about this again. I won't worry about curing this yet until I have another condition, unless it turns out I'm running low on action points. Because now I've got 4, 8, 10, 14 of 15. I mean, that's probably fine.
How many of us are there in the family?
We are 8 brothers and sisters.
What do you mean by brothers and sisters if we can change bodies?
You reason with logic. We have retained the human habit. When we first come into this world, we retain a certain attachment to our first envelope. If we are born as a man, we are brothers. If we are born as a woman, we are sisters. But I must admit, it has absolutely no real importance. They're just bodies.
Well, tell me then, are there any other families like ours?
There are officially 7, but we're the oldest and therefore the most powerful.
Is there a head of the family?
You'll see. You'll meet them all, of course, when you are ready. They created us and set out the rules, especially our father. As for our mother, she retired from the political stage. We don't see her much anymore. I think that all these questions simply bore her.
How is it only brothers and sisters of people like Mortimer can sire offspring? Well, I think he's talking in terms of... So, for example, let me just use this as an example, okay? If you... Well, maybe it's in reverse, actually. Anyway, so let me use this as an example, okay? I was born, I had a brother and a sister and a mom and a dad, okay? So that was my family. I grew up. Now, I've never been married, don't have kids or anything, okay, that I know of. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, just kidding. I don't have any kids. Anyway, so, my family is still, for now, until I marry and have kids, my family is still my brother, my sister, my mom, and my dad. However, my sister got married. She's since been divorced, but she got married and has a daughter. So my sister, her daughter, really are her family. We're still her family. My brother and I and my mom and dad are still her family, but she mostly, when she thinks of her family, most of the time she's thinking about her daughter, right? My brother is married and has an adopted daughter. Basically, it's like a real daughter, though. I mean, they're really close. Anyway, beside the point. So his wife and his daughter and he are, in his mind, his family. I'm still his family. My sister's still his family. My sister's daughter is still his family. My parents are still his family. But he doesn't, when he thinks of my family, he's not usually thinking of the rest of us. He's usually thinking of his immediate family. So I think in the case of somebody like, maybe Holm also, but somebody like Mortimer, for instance, so probably Holm, I would assume too, even though they sire offspring, if they don't really have anything to do with that offspring anymore, they're never around them or whatever, they probably only think of family as the ones that they spend their time with. Clearly, Holm and Mortimer spend their time together a lot. Now, I don't know who all else, but I would think the Daemons, brothers and sisters, spend the most time with each other. And like he said, like mom and dad, it's not just the brothers and sisters, because he mentioned mom and dad, so clearly he has more family. I think when he's talking about, though, he's meaning like the main, like the core of the family, the ones that are still associate together and work with each other are the brothers and sisters. That's how I interpreted it. I don't know if that's right, but that's how I interpreted how he said that. Yeah, nothing especially spectacular in what he's revealed so far. That's right. Demons turn out to be monks and nuns. I mean, you never know. Oh, I don't think you're being nitpicky or pedantic. I'm just saying that's how I viewed it, so that if it didn't make sense really, I was hoping maybe it could make more sense, but anyway, but that's just how I viewed it. I don't want to do this to wreck anything. I really want to do this to see what happens, but I don't want to screw up my playthrough, so we won't do that. Okay.
What's Lord Mortimer's problem?
I think he allows himself to be devoured by a need for recognition.
Has he always been like that?
More or less, but thinking about it, I believe that the birth of our latest sibling greatly accentuated his discomfort.
Do you think he's jealous?
I didn't realize you were so good at behavioral analysis. Indeed, William certainly is prone to jealousy. Finding one's place, notably in the eyes of our father, is not easy, and we each do what we can to succeed. But I can't justify this perpetual rebellion against our rules.
I see. There is still much to learn.
Yes, it's true. You've got some catching up to do, my boy. One thing you must understand, regarding any disagreements that might arise between William and myself, is his position with regard to mankind.
What do you mean?
Well, for centuries we've been trying to help, and therefore preserve humanity. Monarchies are simple and practical. They enable us to inspire humanity efficiently, and I can't understand why William wants to replace them with democracy.
I don't know. Clearly, Holm doesn't agree. I don't know if I want to take Mortimer's side or not. So, as a person in real life, I agree. I think democracy is better. Well, not democracy exactly, republic. A republic, like a democratic republic, right? Mostly democratic, but you avoid some of the pitfalls like nobody goes into the military because nobody feels like it, right? You have some stipulations where there's some republic stipulations to make sure the nation can stay a nation. So I agree with that idea, though, that like people generally should be able to do what they want to do. So, but I don't know, character-wise, I'm not sure. I mean, in fairness, I'm not saying I'm for monarchies. Obviously, I'm not. But monarchies are kind of practical in a lot of ways, because, well, I mean, from in the way that Holm is meaning, because they can. These demons can manipulate the monarch, who then can manipulate the aristocrats, who then can manipulate the rest of the people. So from Holmes' perspective, they're practical. I obviously don't agree. I first of all don't agree they're moral. I agree they're immoral. The only way a monarchy could be moral is if you could guarantee that the monarch always had the best interests of every single person under them in mind. If they always did everything that was best for the people under them, monarchies wouldn't probably not be bad. But you can't trust that, and so many monarchs have become selfish and use things for themselves. So, no. They're simple and practical. They enable us to inspire humanity efficiently. I don't know. Democracy is definitely not simple, but sacre bleu. Démocratie, sacre bleu. Incroyable. Yeah. I'm gonna go. I don't have to do this to. I think this doesn't make me agree with Mortimer necessarily.
But if your intention is not to dominate the human race, why not let them be master of their own destinies?
I perfectly understand this type of reaction from you. Less from William. The main thing you're lacking is time. Man is transient, and one of his particularities is that he does not learn from the errors of his peers. He uses up an incredible amount of energy building and destroying whatever he himself has put into place. If we weren't here to help them, guide them, I sincerely believe that humanity would have become extinct by now. We are eternal, Louis. When we plan ahead, we do it for the long term.
Here's the other thing, too, to keep in mind. Role-playing wise, I'm not sure if Louis would agree with democracy itself, actually, because he actually comes from kind of a more noble family, right? I'm going to say I understand. I'm not saying that I necessarily agree or disagree with Holm, but I think I'm going to say I understand, because I feel like kind of having a neutral-ish position between Holm and Mortimer's opinions might help me better navigate, find out motives more easily, and then take a position later on. So I'm going to say I understand, I think, for now.
Well, indeed. from that point of view, it is better to guide them.
It's rare for a novice demon to manage to stop thinking like a man so quickly. It has taken centuries for our family to establish relative peace between demons. Thanks to this policy, we have been able to decide everything by confining the other families to subordinate roles. And now William is obsessed with disrupting everything.
Peace between demons? What do you mean?
I'm not talking about conflicts within our family. If that was all there was, everything would be fine. But several other families, younger but nonetheless powerful, are trying to upset the balance. At present, we dominate most of the major countries around the globe. But some families are pushing, via less influential countries, to gain ground. Do you understand?
As best I can, yes.
When the time comes, you must take up a position on the political chessboard. I only hope your father doesn't take you down with him.
We are different, so we are above all else. Yeah, I mean, they definitely, I think, I'm almost in a way feeling like William more sympathizes with the human perspective. Although I still think he's bad, but because I think he's manipulated people as well. But I feel like all of them, William, Holm, whoever else is in the family, not Sarah so much, right? Because she's kind of rebelling. But William, Holm, and whoever else, I feel like they are almost unconsciously, although, yeah, they're almost all unconsciously, they feel superior to humans. Although I think Mortimer consciously tries to sympathize with them in their cause, but I still feel like he thinks he's superior. But he thinks they have a good idea, so he's trying to help them out. See if something different will result in a different future. But he still feels superior. And Holmes says the quiet part out loud. He basically says, we're better than they are. We have to guide them, is basically what he's saying. So, yeah, I think so. I don't think this seems too selfish. I think I'm not going to use this one. I mean, it could come across too selfish, I should say. This implies concern over Mortimer, which could be a good appearance to have. I think I'm going to do this one.
Are you suggesting he might be in danger?
Well, Louis, our father's patience is not limitless. If William ever does go too far, then yes, he will be in danger. I want you to make an informed choice. Now go and see your father, see what he has to say, and then think it over very carefully.
That's exactly what I intended to do. Thank you, Uncle.
Don't mention it. If I've been able to help you in any way, go now.
Okay. Join Mortimer in his study now. Why are we super hyper zoomed in? Couldn't you have put me out this far so I'm not like right on my back? Hi, this is the game showing you what Louis looks like up close. Notice the fine fibers and fabrics in his clothing. He wears fancy attire, realizing that he's in the company of other nobles and must look his best for the occasion. Okay. And as always, who knows if there are extra coins. So I'm gonna have a bit of a look around. Also, there are some of those books that I still would like to find if I can, right? I don't even know if they were only findable in previous chapters or episodes, or if they're just always available, but you have to find them, or if they become available like now that we're farther along. But I would like to, if possible, find some more books to study and add to my skills. I'm not a completionist, so I don't concern myself so much with it that I want to make sure I find all of them. Same thing with the coins. But I mean, it's worth having a look about and seeing if you can get them, even if you might miss some. Nothing showing up. This is Washington's room. Is he in his room, I wonder? I've already been in his room and searched it, though, so unless there was something I did not find earlier, I think I'm probably okay not worrying about entering. Wait, and this is... Whose is this? Ah, right, Elizabeth Adams' room. She's not there anymore. Oh, hey. Hey, Piaggi. Hey, Piaggi. Grazie, grazie. Prego. Let's have a talk with him.
I haven't the time.
Oh, or let's get snubbed by him. There's that option too. I'll just keep going on this side for a bit and then... Okay, on this side. Nope. Okay. So nothing new there. And then there's Washington's over here. Who is he going to talk to or whatever? He's just sitting out in the middle of... Volner's room again, yeah. Oh, something. Okay, I swear something just glints. There was something. Seriously? I swear, I just saw something. Okay. I guess not.
Louis, busy as always, I see. How lucky you are. I must admit I'm trying to kill the boredom myself.
I get the impression we're all in the same boat.
And here I was thinking you might have some juicy gossip.
A last guest is expected? Is that Al-Azif? Is Al-Azif going to show up? Yeah, I don't. I agree, Silwell. Was I able to find the Al-Azif? I don't actually know. I mean, I've had discussions about Al-Azif for sure. I don't think I've actually seen Al-Azif, if that's what you're asking. Or yet, if we end up seeing them, him, her, whoever it is. Oh, it's a manuscript. Oh, no, I haven't found it then yet. I don't think. Pretty sure I've not found it. I wonder what happens if I say a last guess is expected.
Well, Mr. Godoy heard that we are expecting a last-minute guest.
Pardon?
Yes, a certain Al-Azif.
Strange. Doesn't ring a bell.
Well, I might as well not hang out here any longer if he has nothing to say. Me neither.
He must have misunderstood. The conference has started. Godoy is a little too used to court intrigue, if you ask me.
I agree with you. Well, nevertheless, I hope I have distracted you a little.
Yes, thank you, Louis. I don't need much. And don't hesitate if you ever do have any news.
I won't, Mr. President.
Okay. Yeah, I have no idea where you would find it, but the library, the artifact room, the secret room behind the whatever the crap in Mortimer's place. I mean, there's a lot that could be.
Pardon me, monsieur, but I have work to do.
Yeah, everybody's snubbing me. That's fine. It's probably because I'm supposed to go talk to Mortimer. So there are all these books, but they're mostly just there for filler, right? Like as part of the scenery. Oh, was that because of the door? Yeah, that's probably because of the door. This luggage has been out here the entire stinking time. Hello, Jelly. Okay. Elixir. What is she talking about? I should listen. Let me see if there's some more junk over here first. Emma. Left the docks, went back to her room, and now is apparently talking with somebody? Wait, was there... No. It's the shiny again, making me think there's something there when there's not. Okay, then we've already been to this, so... Let's go back to Emily's room, or Emma's room now, I guess. And then... see if we can maybe talk to somebody. That's assuming we can actually open the door. I didn't look at the symbol on the door, like that showed up when I approached the door, to see if I'd be able to actually. Doesn't look okay. So her room is. Oh, is this too far? Did I miss? I did. It's too far. Crap. Okay. Plane's bathroom fittings are gold plated. Sounds like a nice friggin' plane for sure. Alright. Let's see.
We have to talk.
I was just wondering.
Oh, what's she smiling for?
Right. I shall begin. It's going to be an awful lot for you to take in on just one day, but I must tell you that I'm a demon too.
Excuse me?
I know that you are too. Gregory told me everything during my convalescence. And that isn't all. I'm also Mortimer's daughter. You understand what that means, I hope. That's right. I am a demon too. And I am your sister. And we also slept together. But don't be too hard on yourself. It's a bit unnatural when you think about it, but then you couldn't know. This way at least, everything stays in the family. It's for the best. It mustn't prevent us from living out our affair in the open, however.
Our affair? Have you lost your mind?
I'm far too soft on you. I'll let you have everything, of course. So don't be nasty, if you don't mind.
What? I'm so confused. Yeah, I think she's had one too many glasses of absinthe, which would be like less than a full glass, right? As far as I know. My understanding is you get like this much in the body, like it's almost like a shot of gin or something, right? You don't even get the full glass. You get like this much, maybe, and it like blows your mind, like you're completely, pissed, just drunk, like the rest of the day or whatever. Like it's bad. Also rots your brain potentially, I think. I think they had problems with it poisoning people, but
She's not all there. It's plain to see.
Yes. True, it's been a long day.
Yes. You ought to get some rest. You can sleep there. You know that, right? Although, thinking about it, best remain discreet for the time being. We shall go see Father later and tell him everything. Of course, he'll be disappointed because he bet it would be Emily, I think.
Whoa. She is completely mad.
But I think he will be proud of me when all is said and done.
She's talking to herself. She can't even see me.
He loves me. Oh, he loves me not. Yes, we'll have to tell Father all about this. But I don't want to live on this island. It's too cold.
There's no point in insisting anymore.
I'm going, Emma.
Yes, I'll see you later. La 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 Louie. La la la.
la 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 Louie. Wow. Hi. In case you forgot, he has very fine threads and a very fine coat. Yeah, okay then. Well, now I know why she was singing to herself and stuff. I'm not familiar with that verbiage. What is a Singapore sling? Yeah, with sugar cubes. Yeah, I've heard that. I've never had it, but I've heard that it tastes like licorice. I don't know if you need the sugar for it to taste that way or not, though. I imagine, use sugar in coffee and in tea to help with potential bitterness and stuff, so I imagine the sugar probably does have some kind of effect. Other than just sweetening it, it probably also helps it. Maybe changes the flavor somewhat beyond that. Not just as a sweetening agent or whatever. All right, let's go talk to Mortimer. After that weird encounter. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm honestly not sure if it's something like she's drunk or if she's actually been somehow mentally broken. Like, I worry that maybe one of the demons tried to do something with her mind and, like, screwed her up, or that she's not fully recovered from the event at the docks and she's kind of broken now. Oh, okay. So a dash of bitters and an ounce of gin. Pour everything into a cocktail shaker with ice cubes. Strain to high blast. Oh, pineapple and cherry. That sounds delicious, actually. Did we already find everything in here as far as, like, golden elixir and stuff? I think so, right? Unless something new has popped up, I think we've already found everything. Oh, here's one. Royal jelly. Nothing manuscript-wise there, though. Okay. Search the other side really fast. Oh. Did I already read this?
Dante's Purgatory. Why does your mind presume to flight when you're still like the imperfect grub, the worm before it's attained its final form? Charming.
Yeah, I think that paper there, I think, had to do with Mortimer's background, so I don't think that's... That obviously is the book with his family history. Another Devil's Thorn, okay. Not seeing anything page-wise or book-wise, though, for further study and skill improvement. Oh,
Louis,
I guess we're in
I was
sync.
sure you would stay. I'm proud of you. You've made the right choice. It took great maturity to forgive your sister as you did.
She brought me up. I realized I owed her a lot.
We all make mistakes, as Sarah well knows.
Why didn't you tell me the truth about her?
I thought that might be too many truths to absorb at one time. I intended to tell you afterwards. You were in a hurry, so I made a decision. You've been able to understand and choose for yourself. How do you feel?
Hard to say.
I think intrigued is probably. Were you in Singapore, or you just it's just a drink they happen to make? Oh, I see. Well, that was created in Singapore, but I don't know. Do they serve that at places like in? I don't remember what's close to you in Australia. Sydney, Melbourne. I'm not sure what's close to you anymore. But anyway, is it short holiday? Nice. Okay. I'm gonna say intrigued. I think.
Quite curious to find out more. My whole way of thinking has been blown apart in just a couple hours.
What could be more normal? It may have been a bit brutal, but you've just grown up in a very short space of time. From now on, you can influence your own future. I will guide you. We've all the time we need.
You're not the first to make me that offer.
What do you mean by that?
Your brother, Sir Gregory.
Gregory. Why am I not even surprised? What did he say?
Oh, no timer. Okay, good. So he's Devil's Thorn. It's not a confrontation, but still. He is immune to diversion. Glad I did not improve diversion. Yeah.
I think he's worried about you.
Worried? Marvelous. That's just like him. You know, in a family like ours, we all have a role to play. And his is to worry about everyone else. Let me reassure you, there's no reason for him to worry about me.
So he is immune to science and diversion, both. Shit, Blue Velvet, yeah. I mean, it's Mortimer. You wouldn't expect him to be chic.
Like the relationship with your father, for example.
It's sometimes complicated, I must admit. I like to understand things, even if it means thinking outside the box. In fact, that's a character trait that you seem to have inherited.
You haven't answered about your father.
What did I tell you? You are too curious, my son. Let time do its work. I don't impose anything on anyone. I'm just following my own path.
But where does it lead?
I suppose I should explain. For centuries now, demons have emerged in and around great leaders all over the world. But like true tyrants, they have governed with an iron fist in a studded glove.
That's the impression I get.
But you see, people's discontent is increasing, and they are too high up to hear it. They take themselves for gods. Sooner or later, the people will turn against us, just as they have in the past. Each time it's happened, many of us have died. We must master the humans, yes, but gently. And the best way of doing that is by allowing them a free choice, Louis.
What's the difference between these? Is that his project? He wants to give men a free choice. Aren't both of them implying that Mortimer wants to give a free choice? So I don't understand the difference. Yeah. It's the concept of... Who is it? There's a writer. I could go get the book. Anyway, there's a concept. I mean, it's been said in other books too, but there's basically this idea: let people have enough freedom that they believe themselves to be free, but not enough freedom that you cannot steer them in the direction you want them to go. It's kind of similar to something mentioned in Crime and Punish. Anyway, that's not the book I'm referring to, though. Anyway, that's the concept, right? Let people feel free so they have no reason to rebel. But make them feel, or keep them enough under your thumb that you can still force them into a direction you want them to go. So in other words, make sure you can manipulate people without people realizing you're manipulating them is effectively the message. It's not a great message, by the way. I'm just saying it. I read it in like I said, I can't remember the name now, but an older book It was a concept explained. Hobbes, yeah. It's not the one I'm thinking of, but you're right. It's definitely in line with some of Hobbes' ideas, yeah. Yeah, the illusion of choice, that's right. I guess I'm going to say this one. I don't know, but...
So that's your project.
Of course, not entirely, no. It is easier to keep control over people who slumber than people who are oppressed. A man with nothing to lose is a dangerous man. Whereas, if you give him a roof, food, and entertainment, he will do whatever you want. The best way of getting them to achieve something is to make them think it was their idea. For that, they have to feel as if they are free.
Hang on. What do you mean?
Look at the United States. From the start, I introduced an idea that will change everything. The idea that everything is possible. Everyone can become someone. Is there anything more beautiful?
You mean it's not true?
Man can move mountains when he believes it is in his own interest. And what nobler cause is there than his own freedom?
Do you have any more examples?
Of course.
So demons are mass media. Yeah. Well, this is the thing. So keep in mind, a lot of these ideas that you hear from people in modern politics or social commentary are ideas that have been around literally for centuries. They just have not been executed either successfully, they've not been executed at all, like maybe they've not tried them before, or they've not been executed in the same way as they are right now. So, yeah, so a lot of these concepts you hear, well, look at nowadays, like with a lot of the like socialism and stuff that's going on, those thoughts, have been around since even before Marx wrote his Communist Manifesto, but at least since the 1860s, right? They've been around for a really long time, but they've not been executed in the same way recently, or like they've not been executed in the same way in the past. In the past, it pretty much always went like upper class versus lower class, like proletariat versus the bourgeoisie, right? We'll reverse proletariat versus bourgeoisie. But now, a lot of that ideology is kind of twisted, and it's being applied race versus race. It's being applied like freedom, like libertarian ideals versus government direction for something like socialism. All this kind of stuff. So it's being applied in a different way. It's the same basic idea, us versus them, but it's being applied in a different way. Thanks, orangutan. Yeah, anyway, my point in this is not to really get heavily political, although there obviously are messages in this game that are necessarily political, and so it's hard not to get a little bit into politics, but these concepts, my point is just that these concepts have been around for a very, very, very long time, like literally centuries, if not longer, millennia in some cases. Some of these go back to Rome and Greece and stuff. So these are not new ideas, but you can see the thread being woven as you go at different points in history being applied. Yeah.
Talk to me about slavery.
Well, take the slave trade, for example. It's an archaic practice that simply has to stop. Today, black slaves of America work for free and in unbearable conditions. Tomorrow, if you free the blacks and offer them work along with a salary, they will bless you for it. Then, they will be integrated into the system. They will be taxable. Once they are free, they will have to work for a roof, pay taxes, and feed their families. Maybe we could take away the civil rights of prisoners, for example. In this way, we'll keep control of all those who respect the system and benefit from the others as workforce.
Yeesh. That's an evil take on slavery. Yeesh. We're going to give them their freedom just so we can manipulate them? That's definitely a hard left idea. Somewhat. I don't actually think Mortimer represents democracy. He's motivating people towards democracy, but I think he kind of represents this idea. And again, I'm not a big conspiracy theorist, so don't think that I'm saying this is a thing or not a thing, or that I know who does it or any of that kind of stuff. But I feel like Mortimer is actually more like the one world order idea. I think Washington would represent democracy. Mortimer's more like one world order. Emma? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Jacobean England, maybe? I don't know. Probably not. That's probably wrong, actually, now that I think about it more. I'm not sure.
And what would you propose for women?
They must be given the right to work and to vote. Look, at the moment, they don't work. They take care of raising children. What a mistake. We have to get them out of the house. Make them work. In this way, not only will they become consumers, but they will also delegate the job of education to the system. We could guide humanity from a young age, Louis, don't you see? Today, we are wasting too much time.
Yep. I'm not gonna say one world order, but I do think corrupt people in positions of power, probably the government, like in the United States, for example, I think the perspective that Mortimer just said on that sounds like why a lot of people were in favor of giving women the right to vote, because then it gives the government more control. I'm not saying that there weren't people that did it for a good reason. I'm not saying it's bad that women have the right to vote. Obviously, I think they should have the right to vote. But the whole forcing them out of the house and then giving control of the raising of children over to the state, as long as the state is good and the state has the best interests of the people in mind, that's fine. But it's the same problem as with the monarchy. As soon as they have interests that are not in the good of the people, you have a problem. If you give your kids over to the state, when the state has ulterior motives, it's a problem. Yeah, Emma/Emily. Well, they are different, but yeah, Emma. Yeah, I feel like Emily is just generally speaking like social programs or something. Like the idea of maybe she's like kind of like an aspect of religion, whereas Piaget is like kind of the establishment religion. Emily felt more like the heart of religion, with the whole stuff with orphanages and and caring about the well-being of other people. Especially all the stuff she did to help out, like working with Peru and stuff, right? Helping people out. I think that was a big thing. And then, yeah, then Emma could represent anarchy or some kind of rebellious movement anyway, maybe, yeah.
What obscurantism? By harping on this concept of good and evil, guilt and redemption, look where men are now, locked up in beliefs that should no longer exist. It's time for men to rediscover themselves and to take control of their lives, as they really are, without any moral judgment.
Do you see Louis going, "What the crap are you talking about, Mortimer?" in that cutscene? That was funny. He wasn't actually saying no, but the way they had him shake his head like that I thought was hilarious.
Tell me what you think about progress.
Progress is essential, Louis. It's the future.
What else?
Progress must liberate humanity from burdensome chores. Progress must replace man wherever his presence is not obligatory. It creates both the desire and the need. It will liberate women as soon as the machines are able to do all the chores in the home automatically. It will bring men together by bringing a faster means of locomotion. Look at the cultural revolution that printing brought about. But the most important of all has already been laid. The foundation stone. Freedom of speech. The First Amendment of the Constitution. There must be opponents to every project. So, above all, don't develop a one-track approach. Otherwise, man won't have enough room for expression to feel free. If man sees his chains, he will only want to break them. If we give men the feeling that they are free, I am convinced that they will exceed their limits. And it is only from that condition that humanity shall rise up.
But do you want to dominate or raise humanity higher?
I want it to advance. I want it to progress. Man is our vessel. If he progresses, then so do we. Wouldn't you like to know what we really are?
Who do you mean? Demons?
Yes, us. Our species. I've been searching for centuries, trying to find a way to explain the reason of our existence, but humanity has not yet evolved enough to make any progress on the subject. I am convinced that the sciences will bring that knowledge someday.
So, that's your objective, is it? To understand who we are?
So now I have to pick a side. I either agree with him or I resist. Although this doesn't mean I actually feel this way. This just means how I answer, right? Yeah, I still think it's probably too early to really be against or for. So let's say this for now. I don't agree with this, but...
I see your point.
Our family clings to its privileges and to the past, and that's how they are putting us in danger. The time has come for change. Now that you know your true nature, there are still a few things I need to teach you.
What do you mean exactly?
A new skill, and not the least, Louis. It's about taking control of a person.
How do you do it?
It's an animal resonance. How it works is still a bit unclear even to us.
Like a wave or a sound?
That seems the most likely, yes. In my opinion, demons are capable of tuning their psychic frequency to that of others. That is why, for example, I tend to surround myself with deaf and dumb servants. The servants dressed in black. I infiltrated them. I opened a channel between them and me, and then I deprived them of speech and hearing. This way, no other demon can turn them against me.
Wow. Seriously.
I don't see how I could do that.
I shall help you the first time.
Okay, let's not waste any more time.
I deduce that you're impatient to master what's in store for you. That is good. I thought I'd mix business with pleasure for this first time.
What do you mean by that?
The conference will come to a close shortly, as you know. Not that I'm fed up with archaic diplomacy, But it's time to ensure the success of this project. To make this happen, I would like Piaggi to inform the Pope he has changed sides.
You're going to use your powers to alter the votes?
The real game is about to begin, Louis. Up till now, the guests have been sizing each other up. From now on, it's time for Gregory and myself to play, as well as you yourself. Now, here is my plan. I would like you to join His Eminence in his room.
Just play along. We'll see when the time comes. Very well. And then?
You're going to have to trust me. What we're going to do is painless for the human you are going to invade.
Invade?
Yes, you're going to enter his mind and take control. You're going to influence his actions and his psyche. Make him speak, then concentrate. You must focus on him in order to feel his thoughts. Then, while speaking, you must link with him. Once you're done, you will naturally find your way to the source and enter into his thoughts.
But what if I fail?
Trust in your instincts. You just have to let yourself go. You have the skill. Let your nature come to the fore. You'll see. If you fail, you'll be in for some light banter with His Eminence. That's all. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Very well.
Perfect. Go now. The Cardinal is in his room. You will have to write a letter to the Pope as if Piaggi had written it himself. In this letter, tell the Pope that whatever happens during the conference, he must follow my propositions. But be careful. In order to protect himself from counterfeiters, the Pope had Piaggi's hand tattooed with a symbol to be sure of his identity. You'll see when you're inside him. You'll understand. Once it's written up, just bring it back to me, and I'll send it off immediately.
All right. I'll take care of it.
What? What's happening? Yeah, we're like on the road to basically seriously evil acts, potentially. Okay. Nothing else here. Whoops. Letters. Your bird is still freaking dead. I can't believe I killed that stupid bird. Dang it. Still no additional books or pages. Alright. Well, that is going to do it for tonight, I think. Nothing. He's never said anything about the bird, ever. This whole, like, ever since I killed it, he just assumed it died, I guess. I don't even know. But, alright. Let me... Okay. So that's it for tonight. Thanks for joining me, guys. I appreciate it. Appreciate the support and appreciate you guys hanging out. I will obviously be on Discord after this and then tomorrow throughout the day. If you want to chat with me there. Tomorrow we'll be finishing, I think. I don't know for sure how long it takes still, but I think we'll be finishing Close to the Sun at the usual streaming time. If we finish and we have extra time left over, then I will start the Book of Unwritten Tales, the Critter Chronicles. So that'll be tomorrow afterward, if we finish, like I said. So that is going to be it. I appreciate you guys' support. My apartment's been cooler anyway, leaving the windows open all day. So I might just do that instead, and that might allow me to get more recording done. Anyway, I'll try to jump on that and get more stuff up. I should have a vlog tomorrow sometime. So thanks for joining me. See ya. Peace.
Poor spider.
This freaking boy. Oh, that's so sad.